This is the Constellation Diaries, When the Stars Align. I'm Robert Becker Sapolsky-Williams, and if you couldn't tell by its symbol, on today's episode, The Star Hunter, we will be discussing the facts and basics, myths and origins, and the many curiosities of the constellation Orion. In the northern hemisphere, which is where we are, Orion is visible in the nights of late fall, winter, and early spring, while in late spring, all of summer, and early fall, it gets obscured by daylight. Orion has arguably the most recognizable asterism, Orion's Belt, the three very bright stars in the middle of the constellation. Because these stars are some of the brightest in the sky, they are easy to find, and by looking for the belt, you can find the full constellation. Along with the stars in the belt, Orion has two even brighter stars, Rigel and Betelgeuse, some of the most recognizable in the sky. And on the map, they are the two biggest circles on either end of the constellation. If looking for specific stars doesn't work to find Orion, you can use the surrounding constellations to find it. This might be a bit harder, as there are many different constellations that Orion is next to. But for example, you can use either southeast of Taurus or straight north of Lupus to find Orion. The most precise way to find Orion is to look for it along the celestial equator, as it has a declination of 0 degrees and a right ascension of 5.5 hours. While the constellation Orion is most well known for its presence in Greek mythology, it actually has its origins in Sumerian Mesopotamia with the legend of Gilgamesh. There are many different interpretations of the Greek legend of Orion, but they mostly all tell the tale of a great hunter who was the son of Poseidon that fell in love with either the seven sisters of Atlas and Philoe, which are represented by the Seven Sisters constellation, or any number of a vast selection of other princesses. Some tellings have Orion chasing the princesses across the sky, while others have him simply banished to the sky for a variety of reasons such as overconfidence in his own abilities and issues with other women. Additionally, many believe that Orion in the constellation is actually a combination of the legends of Heracles and Orion. So many Greek legends also tell the tale of a giant scorpion coming to kill Orion, so that is why Orion is on the opposite side of the sky as the constellation Scorpius, as Orion is forever running away. With all this focus on the Greeks, you might be surprised to hear their modern view of Orion harkens back to the legend of Gilgamesh, where he and his dogs, Canis Minor and Major, are forever hunting the Bull of Heaven, or Taurus, across the sky. Orion is a very interesting constellation, as it shows how storytellers use surrounding constellations such as Taurus, Canis Minor, and Major to tell one larger connected narrative. This is such a unique thing that the surrounding constellations are known together as the Orion Group, to show their mythological connections. Additionally, cultures from all over the world have very similar constellations using the same stars to form their own legends, which shows how recognizable Orion is. Because of its stellar prominence, Orion is the namesake for the next generation interplanetary capsule. NASA is currently developing the Space Launch System, or SLS, to be the new base for manned missions to the Moon and beyond. This program is the first step to deep space manned missions since the Saturn V and the Apollo missions, and will be the first to go to Mars. An interesting feature of the SLS is that its modular sections will be able to be swapped out to prepare for different missions. The Orion crew capsule is where the astronauts will stay throughout the mission, and in addition to life support, will provide abort during launch, shielding during re-entry. And while it is not built yet, the SLS and Orion capsule will vastly advance the manned exploration of our solar system. That's about all the time we have, but thank you for listening when we talk about the constellation Orion, as well as its many myths. I have been Robert Becker Zapolsky-Williams, and stay tuned for the next episode of our journey through the Constellation Diaries, when the stars align.